Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to the Rwagnation League season finale, the final round of the season, and we head to a track where it's provided some great action, both in real life and in the Rwagnation as well. It is the Brazilian Grand Prix. My name is Jess, and Ben Reggie O'Connor is not joining me in the commentary box this week, but I have someone else very special as well joining me instead. They joined Saflo in the F2s, and they're joining me in the F1s as well. It's Ravenduck. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for a championship decider tonight.
Yeah, me too. We'll go through the championship standings very quickly in a minute, but we'll talk about last week's race as well, where we saw Chenje take the win from lower down on the grid as well around Russia. And then we saw Matteo take P2, Jesper P3. Sam Midi and Top Tom were together. They had a good fight last week, which should be very, very good for the finale tonight as well. And then obviously we had Yonti, Copy Assassin, Tristan, Falsetti, Beaker, Danico and Vexit. Drivers' Championship, some very crucial things that will need to be going on tonight. I did make some notes about the permutations. So some idiot will need to outscore Top Tom by 18 points in order for the championship to go in his favour, because Top Tom has got a 17-point lead over some idiot, 206 points to some idiot's 189. And even though they are tied, Top Tom would obviously win on countback due to the more podiums that Top Tom has had. Andy and Yenab battle will be interesting as well tonight with the third place battle. 15 points Yenab needs to outscore Andy by tonight, because there's a 14-point gap with Andy's 151 to Yenab's 137. And we've got Matea in 5th with 64. 6th is Top Jack, and we got Yonti, Jesper, Krusitz, Vexit, Danico, Copy, Galbavan, Hugo Assassin, Beaker and Dennis. Constructors, obviously it's a done deal anyway. Racing Point on 327, McLaren 224, Mercedes 206, AlphaTauri 159, Williams 100, Haas 96, Renault 78, Red Bull 60, Ferrari 58 and Alfa Romeo with 12. Starting grid for today's race, we got Chenje, who's on pole position. They did qualifying off stream yesterday, and the top four were separated by just under 1/10 of a second. And then we got Top Tom in 2nd, Some Idiot in 3rd, Andy will be starting 4th with Yenab in 5th, Krujit in 6th, Galbavan in 7th, Assassin in 8th, Copy will be starting the race in 9th, Top Jack will be starting the race in 10th, and we got Beaker, Tristan, and we've got the people that didn't do qualifying yesterday. They'll be starting from the back of the grid. So, Ravenduck, we're about to get started with the race. So many permutations today, so many things that can go right for the drivers, and a great track to end it on as well.
Yeah, it's a legendary track. It's had some championship deciders in the last few years, the famous ones being like the Alonso championship deciders and Hamilton as well. So it will be insane to see what can happen today. And as we are greeted by the loading screen, I am seeing a strange sight.
Yeah, the drivers can't see it at the moment, so I'm gonna change that. Hopefully the driver, hopefully everyone should be able to see it now. It is raining. It is raining.
We're gonna have a banger.
Yeah, we are going to have a banger of a finale at this moment in time, because obviously the drivers didn't know what the weather was going to be like going into this Grand Prix. And definitely Ben is missing out on tonight's action, I have to say. I mean, I think he's probably going to feel jealous, but there we go. He's probably going to hope like someone's tyre explodes as well. But we shall see, of course. But a few facts about the track, since obviously we didn't go to talk about it yesterday because there was no stream. Interlagos was built in 1940. It hosted the Formula 1 World Championship in 1973. Circuit located in the Sao Paulo suburb of Interlagos. And a Sao Paulo local won his only Formula 1 race at the circuit in 1975, but died tragically in 1977 in an air crash. Ayrton Senna also won here his home Grand Prix as well. Felipe Massa, I think, won in 2009. That's where we saw Jenson Button win his world title in the same number as Lewis Hamilton won a year later. And obviously we had the Is That Glot moment as well. I wonder what tyres they're going to be using. I do see, it looks like it's Inters, but you never know, it could be full wets that the drivers and ourselves will be granted with at the moment. And we will go through the rest of the grid as well as they all start to form up on the fan formation lap. So after Beaker, we have Jesper in 12th, Jonty in 13th, Danica in 14th, and Hugo's in 15th. And it's not just about the top 3 tonight. There are many drivers such as Copy and Danica and Hugo who need a really good result in order to solidify really their top 10 place in the championship in order for them to automatically qualify into the RNL next season in F1 2021.
Yeah, it is a fight. The top 10 get automatically qualified for next season, so everybody wants to at least solidify their position for that. And also for Samidi and TopTom, it's the big fight, and Andy and Yenab, and they've decided to make it easy for us and park their cars on the grid right next to each other.
Yeah, I just noticed that actually when I was going through the qualifying results as well. So we could see 2 teammates working together with the likes of Samidi and Yenab. I know they've already won the constructors fight, but I'm sure Yenab will do his very best to help Samidi, but he wants to score some points as well. He doesn't want Andy to be ahead of him as well, but you never know. We've seen Andy make some mistakes in the past. China, don't forget, he was quite low down, made some mistakes, so it is possible. Now, I'm just going on board now, and it's not raining too much. I do hope we have a changeable condition race. That would be interesting to tell you the truth. But obviously, reminder of the permutations. Some idiot will need to outscore TopTom by 18 points. And get your predictions in the chat. Obviously, no predictions in the stream because none of you will have many points for my streams. But before we start the race, I'm going to throw you under the bus, Ravenduck. Who is your top 3?
Ooh, I'm a big fan, not of TopTom. I'm a big fan of Some Idiot. I'm gonna go for the Some Idiot first place, TopTom second, and I'm gonna give Yenab third.
So you're saying that TopTom's gonna win the championship? As your prediction?
He might. Yeah, I think he might.
Oh, good prediction. I think Some Idiot's gonna have a point to prove, so I think he's gonna win the race as well. I know TopTom's going to hate me for that, and any TopTom fans. But anyway, the final race of the Rwagnation League Season 6 is about to get underway, and it is lights out, and away we go. And it's a decent start from Chenjay into turn 1. TopTom has dropped a little bit from his position. We got Sam Idiot that's really gaining some ground at this moment in time, but we also got, I think, Andy as well, who's dropped a bit as well. Maybe stay position, I don't know, as the timing glitches, unfortunately, on my screens. I can't really tell who's where at the moment.
It's upon us, yeah.
Yeah, it is upon us at the moment. But yeah, Chenjay holds on the lead going into the center as well as TopTom in second. Surprisingly, no major contacts into the first turn right now. So they are keeping it clean right now. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's a gentleman's agreement to give each other room. It's a rainy race and it's a long race, so you have time to do these overtakes. There's no lap 1 heroics, and the respect between these drivers is great.
Yeah, indeed. We already got a yellow flag. That is Danica, who needed a good result in order to put him in the top 10, and he's dropped a little bit from Beaker, so I wonder if they had it coming together as well. Meanwhile, Jesper got past Assassin up into 11th position, so that is great to see as well. But Chenjay is already pulling away by 1.2 seconds. He's liking these wet conditions right now. He's probably going to be championship contender for next season because he's had some really good races. Bahrain was one of them, and obviously Russia, where we went to last week as well. We got Top Jet going for a move, but more importantly, Some Idiot is going for a move as well. As he is on my screen, it's Andy P3, but on the road, it's Some Idiot P3. So
it's gonna settle the next lap. It's the lap 2 timing sheet. But no, Some Idiot is still ahead. We can breathe easy.
Yeah, we can breathe easy at the moment. So don't worry, Some Idiot's girlfriend, who I know is in the chat again tonight. She is here, so don't worry, don't panic.
Although he is under pressure from Andy, who is trying to force him into a mistake. And it looks like he's holding on, but it's costing him time. And he needs to get past TopTom if he wants to keep in this championship.
Yeah, and obviously don't forget about penalties as well. Andy is prone to be getting penalties. We say it time and time again, every race, that he just needs to afford not to get any penalties, because that's what sometimes costs him the race win. Imagine if he would get a race victory today. He definitely needs this as well, but obviously Andy is the one who is who has the most to gain in terms of getting third in the championship. As long as Andy and Yeno could be close together, it'll be very, very good for Andy. It would be a nice battle as well. Position changes right now. We'll go through, and Top Jack's gained 3. Jesper's gained 2, and Hugo's gained 3. Not many position changes at the front, but we had Assassin drop down 3 as well as Beaker. And Danico obviously had that spin earlier. And we got, looks like Top Jack was going to go for a move on the inside of Krutitz. Couldn't quite make it stick. We got Jesper that gets a move on Cosby into turn 4. Nice move for him as well. He's had a good season as well. He surprised me. He's been one of the dark horses.
Yeah, he's got podium last race, so it's surprising for me to see him a bit further at the back. But he didn't qualify, of course. And he's already making his way back up the grid. So that's good driving from him. He's really improved throughout the season.
And I'm almost certain he's going to also qualify for next season as well. So he doesn't need to worry about qualifying like he did last time, which was at Monza. Meanwhile, the 2 Ferraris are fighting for P11. Don't forget the top 10 will be scoring points today in the normal F1 system. And a nice gentleman's agreement between the two of them. So great job from them as Chenjay just set the fastest lap of the race so far. But Tom can't quite catch up, but he's closing in a little bit. I'm seeing Top Jack just doing all he can to get past Krutitz. A long way down the outside, I think, into turn 1. It's going to be very tight. You've got to get a good run into turn 1 in order to get a good run into the turn 2 and the centre S as well. Still going side by side as they make contact a little bit. Top Jack has gone off the circuit. That allows Krutitz to get P6. Top Jack, unfortunately, stays in P7, but he's got his teammate Galvan for company, who could take advantage of the mistakes right now. But I don't think there was any damage, and we've got an incident between Yonti and Danico under investigation due to the incident that's happened on lap 1. So it wasn't Beaker and Danico, it was Danico and Yonti.
Yeah, it somehow had a bit of a coming together, and both of them had to pay the price as both of them are in the back, and Danico had to come in for a wing change. So that's big for the runners at the back. They need the points, and Danico specifically, if he wants to get in that top 10 position, needs to get up front.
Yeah, he does right now as well, and he's running out of ERS as well. I think, actually no, he's the flashing lights in the rain. He just confused me quite a few times on this game, but it's the last race. I know some of the drivers will probably be glad to get rid of the game after tonight. I know Top Tom is one of them. After the race, he said he's probably going to uninstall the game. So that's a few weeks early, I have to say, but I guess he doesn't have any races, so fair enough. He's dropped a bit of Chenjay by about 0.3 per second, and no one's going to have any DRS, so advantage, I think, for the people up in front, and that's probably why they're pulling away right now, and not many people going for dangerous overtakes. It's mainly the midfield runners are going to go for it. Jack is going to try and go for a move once again on Krutitz, though, but nice defensive work from Krutitz on the inside once again. That he retains that P6 as well, and that train is growing ever so slightly in the back as well between Galvaband and Jesper as well, so they could be in this fight if Top Jack doesn't get a move on either.
Yeah, Jesper has really been catching up to Galvaband, and if Top Jack can't get past Krutitz, it's just going to bunch up behind him, and he's going to be susceptible to attacks from behind.
Yep, exactly as well, and Jesper doesn't need to gain many positions today. He's got his place solidified for next season, but I know he wants to have some fun. He still wants to potentially get a podium because there's still a long way to go. It's the last 100% race of the season. Who knows, we'll have this again next season. I would like to see it next season as well because it's very unique. Not many leagues actually do 100% races, and it challenges the drivers more, and it also challenges us as commentators to think about strategy. Meanwhile, we got Hugo's and Copy going side by side into turn 1. Hugo getting the better run there on the inside. Usually sometimes you go down the inside of someone into turn 1, usually it doesn't end well, but Hugo's has proven that nope, you can go the inside around this track, and he did it. So he's up into P10 in the points. Not quite where he needs to be in order to be in the top 10, but at least he's giving it a good old go with a Copy as well, which is very, very cool actually. Hugo's being, I think, the major talking point in a few races this season, running Danforth, I believe, as well, if I remember, but hasn't won since. Could he win tonight? We will see. There was rain towards the end of Zandvoort, but he's not doing that well to gain too much from the front runners. But he's gained 5 places, so you can tell that the rain is his home.
Yeah, and the rain seems to have eased off a little bit, so I'm wondering how long it will take before we see a dry line. Although in the back sector 3, rain seems to be very much there. I wonder if we're going to have a change of conditions here. As Jesper, big snap oversteer on the final corner into sector 3, and every bit of time that he gained on Gelbwand, he just lost right there.
Yeah, there was a nice battle as well, and now we got the two Renaults just running away with it right now. But Top Jet is going to go for a different approach, and Krutitz has had a bit of a slide into the center S's. And if you go on the inside there, it just does not work. So unfortunately, that was not good. But I don't really know what happened. It may have been that they made contact in turn 1, but I think the stewards will be looking at to that. And speaking of the stewards, the lap 1 incident between Yonti and Danny Kay will be investigated after the race. So we'll keep an eye on that one after the race, of course. But for now, they could just race freely. They don't have to worry about any post-race penalties. For now, they'll just have to wait until after the race. So, yes, but it doesn't help Danny Coast's race for now, but it should give a little bit of insight at this stage. But somebody is looking very, very good on the back of Top Tom right now. He's loving these wet conditions. 8/10 of the gap between him and Top Tom. We got Andy as well, 6/10 for second two. They're starting to grow. And I have noticed that the rain has stopped a little bit. The sun is starting to come out as well. I think we could see a dry line forming very, very soon. So imagine what tyres will they be going on to if it's going to be a dry moment of this race, which I hope does happen. This could change things up massively. But with the sun peeking out, I'm almost certain we're going to have a dry stint. But the question is, when?
And on sector 3, we had a big lock-up from Krusix, who's lost it on the straight, somehow managed to keep it out of the wall, and has picked it up again. It's gone really bad for him this lap. It just all went down the drain. Driving P6 and now all the way down in P12 and a good way away from the pack.
Yeah, I think that the mindset that he's had, I think, since he had that battle, I think has affected him negatively, which you can't really do that in a league race. So he's got to find a way to pick it up and concentrate on the rest. And I think if I were him, I would be focusing on helping your teammate now, because his teammate is in a crucial position in the championship and you don't really want to lose it. So maybe Krutitz is thinking about the long-term game as well, because obviously people may pit soon for obviously dries when the track starts to dry up, and some of them may pit a bit earlier as well and take that risk. Sometimes that risk pays off. I've seen a race once where when there was a safety car, a few people pitted under the safety car thinking it was going to dry at the end of it. Turns out their gamble pays off, but it usually does not. And on my screen, it may just be the graphics, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't see any raindrops. I see some spray, but I don't see any raindrops, so I think it stopped raining.
Yeah, I see very little rain as well, and we might see a dry line coming up soon. But this is where every team in the RNL, obviously, or some of them don't, have a racing engineer, and this is where the value of that racing engineer comes into play. He's going to be looking at his telemetry and he's going to see the track dry out, and it's now a question: who's going to draw first? Who's going to go in and get those dry tyres?
Krutitz is out of the race, so he's given up, unfortunately, which is a shame. On the final race, he could have helped his teammate a little bit there, but well, I'm sure Krutitz is probably going to help his teammate, probably as a Jeff maybe. So maybe you can stay there, just give him his advice as well. So sometimes it takes a while for the track to dry up on this game. Sometimes it does not, and it dries very quickly. So it's all about who has the most experience, really. As we're going to wait for the DRS enable sign, but sometimes the DRS enable sign is not enough. Sometimes you can pit a lap later. A lap before the DRS gets enabled, and it usually works out. So ignore that. I did see someone in the pits, and that was obviously Krutitz. So yeah, their team were getting ready, and obviously they retired. No one else is blinking for the pit lane just yet, but that's going to help Andy though, because obviously he's the only one in Mercedes now, so he doesn't have to worry about double stacking. Not good news if you're Racing Point and if you're Yenab though, because you could get a double stack. So I think one of them would have to pit a lap earlier or a lap later. So not good. As we got our first time penalty of the session, and that is Galvavand with a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, he is defending very hard from Jesper, and in doing so, went over the outside of turn 4 and caught a penalty.
Yeah, turn 4, quite common to get a penalty around here. I've done that quite a few times around Brazil, but that's allowing Jesper to close right in as well, and obviously the drivers can see the nearest drivers around them with penalties, so they think, right, what can I do to gain the most out of this as well? Because even if some drivers get past you, they still need to clear a 3-second gap. So this could be, if you stay within their range and don't get any penalties, you can gain massively, especially when there's a safety car as well. So Chenjay past turn 1, Tom past turn 1. None of them's blinking at the moment. Well, I don't really want to blink if I were you, because there's still spray on the track. So it's not the right decision to go into the pits now. But I know some people will do it. I get the tyres up because I think that will be crucial at the moment to see what everyone is up to. And it also gives me a good chance to get the tyre strategy up on my phone as well. The softs can last 32 laps, mediums 38, hards 48. So should be interesting. I think I might be right, I might be wrong, but I think if I were them, obviously go do a 2-stop, maybe do a double medium stint, and then softs potentially as well if it was a normal race. But we will see a lot. There'll be a lot of people taking a lot of risks in a normal 1-stop race. In 50%, you could do soft to mediums, or in a 2-stop soft, medium, soft. So you can possibly do 2 soft stints as well, but it depends on how far you could manage your tyres, of course. And the softs...
Yeah, those softs will be screaming at the end of the stints, though.
Yeah, they will. They'll be pushing too much. So if I were them, probably a double medium stint if I were you. So Chenjay is going into the pits. He's taking the gamble first. I think it's still a bit early, but you never know. It could pay off for him. Going on to the mediums then for Chenjay. Here he goes. So he's going
That's
for
a big gamble.
That is a big gamble because it's still spray. There's still spray, but you never know. A lap later, it could be completely dry. So let us know in chat, guys. Do you think Chenjay has made the right decision? We'll have to wait and see. I'll go on board with Tom, actually. It's still a bit of slippery bits of the track, but there's some dry moments as well. So I don't know what to do if I were them, really. But I would stay out for another lap. But Tom is still struggling even on the inters, so it's not good for any tyre. Assassin has pitted as well on the softs. I don't know why he's gone for the softs, but I'm guessing he wants to get the softs out of the way, do a long, medium or hard stint at the end. We shall see. But what would be a racing point on McLaren or Mercedes call be right now, seeing that your main rival has gone into the pits?
Yeah, I think they're going to be looking at his outlap now and want to see what time he does, what sector times he's going to come up with. He doesn't seem to be struggling that hard with the car, and it's just a question of can he make it work. The medium compound a lot harder than the soft compound, so on like the midway between inters and slicks, the soft is the more favorable tire because it has that bit more traction. So if Chenjay can get these temperatures into the tires, then he should be fine.
Yeah, I think he should be fine as well. It's at some moments on the track where he's all right, but I think the final sector is where he's struggling a little bit. So we'll see this lap what he does. He takes turn 1 very cautiously as he does not want to bin the car. And you can see Tom is already getting on some idiot in terms of raw pace right now as well, which is what he wants. He doesn't even need to be ahead of some idiot because he could take it a lot easier. He's the one under less pressure at the moment. Assassin goes into the pits. He must have had damage, so I think for him, he has made the wrong decision. Obviously, he's on the softer compound, and with these types of conditions, being on the softer compound is not good. But, someone said in the chat, is the rain stopping? The rain has stopped. It's just about, will the track dry enough, being less slippery, in order for the drivers to go on and see the medium compounded tyres or the hards. Will Topson go in? No, he does not. Let's watch some idiot. Does he come in? And he does, though.
Yeah, Andy thinks he's seen an improvement in Chenjay's pace. And, that is perfect. I don't think Andy could have timed that any better as DRS gets enabled. Andy coming out on fresh softs. That is perfect timing.
Unfortunately, I don't get those notifications for some weird reason, so you need to be able to tell me that. So thank you. Yes, DRS is enabled. So Andy, I won't be surprised if would Andy lead this race? I don't know. I will look at the pit lane loss around this track, but that is strategy well done for Andy. And look at that. He's got the one lap benefit on Chenje. Chenje pitted a lap too early. If he pitted the same lap as Andy, I think he would have been ahead. So that is advantage Andy. He is gained by 4.7 seconds, which I gotta say is pretty good. Pit lane loss around here, 18.5 seconds. So,
and that was a big move from him.
Yeah, gap to leader. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So gap to leader, 21. So Top Tom will still be in the lead. We'll see how much Andy gains between the final sector and obviously when Top Tom goes into the pit. It's gonna be ever so tight. So Top Tom comes in, some idiot comes in. Yenab, unfortunately, is forced to stay out another lap because you'll lose more time for double stacking. So Top Tom goes on softs. What about some idiot? Bit mixture of strategy here today. Some idiot also goes on softs. Top Jack goes on softs as well. Let's watch Andy. He's saying purple final sector, so if you're not thinking about going into the pits, what are you doing? And you see Top Tom coming out of the pit lane. So we'll see if he can come out ahead of Andy. Gonna be very close, actually.
I think he is.
But
he still is.
Still is
but
by 1.1 seconds.
Andy made an overtake in the pit lane on some idiot.
Yeah, which was very, very impressive for Andy. I think that the gamble that he did paid off. I was talking about the gambles that he did earlier on as well, and we're starting to see the full effect of these tyres. And Yenab, that's just bad news for Yenab as well. He's going to lose so much time on the rest of the field. But I think he'll still come out, I would say, behind, I think, Top Jack or Chenje.
Yeah.
So, again, still some decent points for both of those drivers. So, not too bad, but not good if Yenab wants to be in the top three. But at least the Constructors' battle is sealed anyway as well. But, yes, Andy's going to have the benefit of the DRS as well as some idiot as well. Actually, no, some idiot won't because some idiot does not have DRS, but he could gain around about 5 tenths in order to do that. So we can see a good fight between Andy and some idiot. I wonder whether, obviously, they are in different constructors, but both of them are in the same esports team. So I wonder if both of these drivers will be working together. I wonder if Andy would give maybe Top Tom some slipstream swap places, or will he just be concentrating on helping his esports teammate get the title? If I were you, I would help your teammate get the title and help some idiot stay behind as well as Yenab, and then both of you would get the positions that you want.
And surprisingly to see as well, Yenab has continued, not gone into the pits, still on the inters. And I don't know if that was a mistake on his part, that he just forgot to go into the pits, but he is losing time rapidly. And it's just not going to work out for him. At this moment, he's going to come out P6 or 7 if he pits now. So it's not looking good for Yenab at the moment.
It's not. I thought he was going to be near Top Jack area, but now he's probably going to be near Chenje, Jesper kind of area. But luckily, Yenab has saw sense, and he's going into the pit lane. And there he goes. But obviously, Top Tom, Andy, somebody are going to be miles ahead. I would also say Top Jack, Chenje. He's probably going to drop outside the top 10 at this rate. It's going to be that of a disadvantage for Yenab. That could be P3 gone in the championship, which is a bit of a shame for Yenab. But at least he can focus on the rest of the race now. There's still loads of things to happen in this race. As Jesper will probably get past Yenab in the pits, which he does quite convincingly, actually. And like we said, Jesper is going to be ahead as well as Chenje. So Yenab, like we said, is going to be in P7. Meanwhile, Copy has made another move on Hugo's, but for how much longer? They're still going to go side by side a little bit. Made a bit of contact, but not quite a lot here. Will they go side by side into the uphill section of turn 6? No, because I think there was a bit of a gap, I think, in between them. So we will see, of course. But I think we're starting to see a bit of relief for everybody, as everyone is now on the dries, as most people have done more practice on the dries than the wets. I usually admit to that as well. But we could start to see the true pace and actually start to see some very good battles. I'm looking at Andy's ERS, 13% ERS right now for Andy, whereas Top Tom doing quite well with his ERS, almost at 50%, so as well as some idiots. So Andy on the back foot, some idiot could use it as an advantage to get past Andy and maybe even challenge for the win with Top Tom, who knows. So but Andy probably has the one to lose in terms of ERS right now, so he's got a save.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jesper making moves on Shenjie, who's like the former race leader, just dropping back more and more, pick those medium tires, and Shenjie with the softer compound just has more speed and more traction on that car, and made an easy overtake on the straight. DRS enabled and passed.
Yeah, could this be a podium for Jesper? I know he's got a 3-second time penalty, but he's looking a lot faster than some of the other drivers right now, so we'll see if he can get past Top Jack as well. Some of the drivers are not as confident in the wets, but they're definitely confident in the drives. Take Top Jack, for instance. He was one of those drivers that benefited as well. Shenjie, I think, pitting a lap earlier, had the most to lose. He was in the lead for all the wet stint. He pitted when he did, and he's dropped down 6th position because of it. So I know Andy may have gained the most. Shenjie definitely gained the least out of this situation, and he's on the mediums, but he's on the most durable tyres, so he could go on maybe a double soft stint. He could stretch out his medium stint for as long as he can, and then maybe he could do 2 soft stints at the end. We don't know, but Shenjie's looking good on his ERS though, so he could try and get past Jesper this lap and maybe go for a move into turn 7 in the windy part of the lap as well. But we're watching Andy, who is doing very well on pace-wise in terms of Top Tom right now. So this is looking very, very good as well. I think he's only had 1 or 2 race wins, but we will see. Maybe he can get another one today. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, Andy had a very demanding lead at the start of the season, and he was looking to be the favourite, and it all just went away from him mid-season, and I think he's looking maybe at a race win to redeem himself. So he's going to try and overtake Top Tom, I think. This is not going to be, we're on the same esports team, I'm going to have to let you have the win. I think Andy definitely wants this win, and he won't shy away from taking it from Top Tom.
Purple find a sector as well, and yeah, I got to agree. I thought he was going to play the team esports team game, but nope, he's not. Meanwhile, we got Yenab that gets past Shenjie on those softer compounded tyres, and I think that's what helps him a little bit there. So unfortunately, the move to the medium tyres for now is not good, but towards the end of the race, it could be the best decision of his life. Only 5 tenths per second you lose between the softs and the mediums, so not too bad around this track, but 5 tenths could make the difference, and maybe the likes of Galvan could close up, but Shenjie is so quick around this track, he doesn't need to worry. But all he's got to do now is to try and get past Yanab, but he's got penalties as well. We've got 6 drivers on penalties. That's Jesper, Shenjie, Galvan, Hugo's, and we've got Assassin that's got past Danico up into 13th position. Nice to see people in the back having a battle, even though it's not for points. That's usually where I end up on the grid, battling for the likes of 13th, 12th place. But it's if you have fun, that's all that counts, isn't it? So Assassin up into 13th. Danico is having him out at the moment, but at least he's still keeping going. Another driver as well as Shenjie, who's also went for the medium tyres. Could this work out in his favour towards the end of the race? Who knows? But at the moment, that's what helped Assassin get past with a similar move to what Yenab did earlier on in the race.
Yeah, so they're going to have to hope that the medium tires last longer. It's getting a bit darker again on track, so who knows, we might get a second little splash of rain, and the entire grid might be thrown up in the air once again.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting. I've never been in a situation where I've commentated on wet to dry to wet, but you never know around Brazil. It's known to have weather races. I've only seen a few races where it's been dry. I think majority of Brazil races have been overcast, I think the ones I've commentated, but there's some occasions when it has been dry, of course, in terms of clear weather, but we shall see. It does depend, and unfortunately you won't be able to see the track temperature this week or anything like that. Any of the famous things that Raggy has got, because I don't have the money for that, unfortunately, to get all that kind of stuff. Neither do I have information about the tyres as well. So we're just going to have to guess on how people's tyres are like. Maybe a feature on the Nets game, or even the game out. I don't think it's going to be on the Nets game, but maybe on F1 2022 ? Get information about the tyres. Cody DA, please. Yeah. That'll be lovely. That will help commentators out so much.
I beg, please give data.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Andy is just creeping up on Tom, and like in the F2s before, Andy is running into the same problem that Hayden had. Is he can close up on the DRS straights, get right on the back of Tom, and then in the middle sector where the turns happen, he can't follow that closely because of the downforce loss.
Yeah, he is. I think that's a similar situation to what we saw with Gasly and Hamilton at one point, but then actually Gasly on the final lap actually took advantage and got the move. So maybe he's waiting for the last opportunity before they pit once again onto medium tyres. Don't forget, of course, if they start on the Inters, they don't have to worry about the mandatory tyre compound, so they could do soft if they wanted to, but they don't have enough softs to last. New softs, that is, so obviously they can't do that, but at least they have flexibility of what tyres they go on. They don't have to go onto a set of mediums next to they don't want to. They could do soft and then medium if they wanted to, or even do soft hard. They have more of a flexibility due to the fact that it was a wet start to the race, which is what we like at the end of the day. Who knows, there could be even 4 wets later on. We don't know about the weather. We don't ask the drivers, oh, what's the weather like today? We don't even ask that, because it makes things more exciting. Some idiot though, unfortunately can't get past his near Andy and Tom. So as it stands, some idiot is not doing enough to obviously secure the title. Some idiot will remain second, and at the moment Tom will be the RNL Season 6 champion, but don't count your chickens yet. We've still got loads of time left of this Grand Prix. Still many things that could go right or go wrong. And Andy was so much close to Tom on that lap, but I have to say, this is the best I've seen Andy drive in a long time. He is definitely going for it. He's got the DRS now. Can he get close enough? Can he go to on the inside of Tom into turn? Nah, he's not going to. He's not taking any risks.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that's going to happen to him now. And it's happened to him lap after lap. And he has to think to himself at some point, am I going to keep putting stress on these tires? Am I just going to burn these tires? Well, Tom he's not having any trouble. He's going to drive. He's not stressing his tires out, defending. He knows if Andy's not getting past in the first sector, he's not getting past in the second or third. And I think Andy needs to either go for it or back out, because this is going to eat up his tires and Tom is just going to run away with it.
Imagine what the tyre wear would be at this stage, as well as the tyre temperatures as well. And you can see Andy's losing a bit of time due to him being stuck behind as well. And maybe the dirty air potentially is not helping him. Maybe that if he got close to him in turn 1 and if he went for the move, he probably would have made contact. So that's why he's playing it safe that way. But come on, it's the final race. Take risks. But he does know that his rival at the front is obviously fighting for the championship. And Tom also knows that Andy is fighting for third place in the championship. So both of them, in a way, are kind of helping each other. But you can see the gap was 4 seconds to Samedi and Andy. It's now 3.8. So Andy's going to be probably worried that if Andy doesn't get a move on Samedi, it could still be in this fight. So that's going to be dangerous. But Tom will need to have a huge bottle in order for him to lose the championship. So in a way, it won't be too bad if somebody gets past these two, but it will be bad for Andy if somebody gets past and obviously helps Janab. So we shall see, of course, how that goes. And we're almost halfway into this Grand Prix, and still plenty of things that could go wrong. But we've got Tom that's absolutely loving life right now. As Galbavan has picked himself a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings, as notifications have gone back, so that's good news. So here comes Andy again, not quite close enough. He just gained so much time in turn 1 and in the first sector, but he just loses so much time after that. So we'll have a look at his lap times as well to see what the advantage of that. Meanwhile, Janab gets by Top Jack, so that was very, very crucial. So now it's a racing point 3-4, but Top Jack is definitely having none of that. Is he going to go to the left-hand side of turn 4? And he couldn't do it, but Top Jack could. But Yenna closed the door nicely. He knew where Top Jack was going to go, and that's what happened. And look who's at the back of this. Jesper. That could be very, very exciting.
Yeah, Jesper has really improved his racing throughout the season, and you can find him like where you could find him earlier in the season in the back of the midfield. Somehow you can find him in the front now. He's like well up front and fighting for podiums, where he got a podium last race.
I would say he's a dark horse of the season, I have to say. Been my biggest surprise. I would say he's a driver as well as Chen Jay. I think those two. I think I would say Jesper more, being the most improved driver, I think, as well. Someone you weren't expecting to be up there as well. And if he keeps this up as well, he could possibly improve himself on the next game as well. Who knows, a new game may have completely new handling. We don't know yet, of course. So, because there's some people that do well on the last game, but on the new game, they may go horribly wrong. So there's still plenty of opportunities for Jesper as well, because it sometimes takes a while for people to get used to the new game. Obviously, it takes me a while too. So that's what makes RNL so exciting as well, the fact that we won't know the pecking order going into the new season. But for now, we do know that Jesper is definitely the best of the rest in terms of non-racing points, stroke Andy, stroke Top Tom. So we've got obviously the top 4. We know who they are, but definitely Jesper, Chen Jay, those two, best of the rest right now. I'm surprised Jesper hasn't taken close to a win yet. I imagine if he does that at Brazil. There's still time, of course. Shame about his penalty though, but there could be things that happen at the front which will allow Jesper to climb up a little bit. So who knows? But if he doesn't get a win this race, I'm almost certain he could get a win next season.
Yeah. Really impressive. And again, at the front, Top Tom and Andy still fighting. And I've noticed something that Andy is doing is he's not using that much ERS down the straight. He's actually been saving his ERS every lap. Hasn't used it in the second ERS zone every time. And you can see the difference between the ERS. He's got 80, while Top Tom is down to 40. And I think Andy is trying to save up for a massive lunge, or he's going to use all of it in the in-lap when Top Tom pits.
That could be an actual good idea, because I think that's probably what Andy did when he saw like the likes of Chen Jay pitting as well, so he can gain so much time on everybody. And then when he took that gamble to pit, and then we saw the DRS enabled sign for him, that was just like gold as well. Could we see a strategic masterclass for him right now, or will he able to use it when he's close enough? Because there's no point using it if you're not close enough, really. Top Tom is trying to say, no, Andy, you're not home my slipstream, thank you very much. But Andy, though, he's got the most to gain. Top Tom, let's see what Top Tom is.
And I have some bad news for you, because I think your notifications didn't work there. Andy just picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Oh no. Yeah, my notifications did not work, so
that is
typical.
That has been the boon of Andy's existence, these penalties. It's been happening to him almost every race, and I was hoping he could stay clear of it this race, but it's caught up to him once again.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame. We told him time and time again, Andy, when are you going to stop getting penalties? And Andy's just like, I don't know. So he's got to find a way on the next game to stop getting these as well, because there's probably not a race where he doesn't get penalties. I think I've seen most races, even in 50% in other leagues, where he gets penalties as well. So maybe it's just a trait that people have. I know some commentators that commentated on Andy before could probably back me up on this fact. So, you know, he just got to make sure he doesn't get any more penalties, because he may push Top Tom into make a mistake and he could get a penalty as well. But that will bring some idiot and Yenna to be like, you know what, I could still get the race win. So we'll see what Andy could do. Maybe he could use this to his advantage and possibly get Top Tom as well. I was just going to see what Top Tom ERS is like. He's not too bad either, but not as much as obviously Andy. But Top Tom's still doing a good job with his ERS as well. 55% compared to Andy's 84. What's some idiot's ERS looking like? I don't want to go into that. 60%, and Yenab is not doing any better either. Almost running out, and that's allowing Top Jack to close in ever so slightly as well. So Top Jack could get Yenab once again, and we got 2 tops in the lobby this week, Top Tom and Top Jack. I'm surprised I haven't got those 2 confused in this stream. So that's all good.
There's still time.
Shush.
Well, this fight for 4th is Jesper, Top Jack, and Yenab now, as Jesper has also found the connection there. And when we look at ERS, Yenab is in a lot of trouble right now. Fully depleted ERS system, and Jesper's just smiling, 40%. He's got a lot to dump on the straight, and he could gain massively here.
I will not be surprised if Top Jack and Jesper, I won't be surprised if Jesper gets past both of these drivers, because I think he's doing an Andy right now. He's just waiting for the moment to blink, and then when he blinks, he's going to go for it, and Top Jack and Yenab are going to be like, hold on a minute, I was not expecting you to go for the move, and then those 2 make mistakes. So Jesper knows what he's doing. He's just going to wait patiently, and he knows he's not going to go for it until he sees fit, maybe towards the next pit stops. We don't know when they're going to go into the pits, but I do notice that it's getting brighter on the circuit, so it's probably going to be a clear end to this race, but you never know what Cody's could throw at us. But we're starting to see more shadows as well, so the tyres are going to be a lot hotter, the track temperature is going to be a lot hotter as well. Obviously we can't see that this week, but you can tell by that turn 1's going to be even more difficult as well to reference for these guys as well. Andy, he's doing all he can, bless him, but he is just...
And what I'm seeing now is he's not using his ERS, and he is maxing out his ERS now. You see, at the end, turn 4, ERS 100%, and I don't know how much you want to save, but at some point, you just have to start using it as well, because if he maxes it out, he might as well dump it, because there's no point.
Yeah, I would do it as well. Just use it on the straight. Use it turn 1, turn 4. That's it. That's all you really need to use it for. And to obviously towards Jung Sao as well, potentially. Use it on those. Even if you don't use it anywhere else, just use it on those. And then save it in Sector 2. That's what I would do. Just save it there. You should be absolutely fine. And that's not what Andy's not doing. Top Tom, I'm liking his... ERS management, because he's using it on the straights when he needs it, and he's just not using it at all, and that's why Andy can't get past Top Tom, because you can see that Top Tom is hovering on the 60% mark, and he hasn't used ERS this lap, but there, Top Tom has got ERS now, so Andy's going to get an advantage. And we do have a yellow flag, Sector 3, that is either Copy or Danico. That is,
I think that was Copy.
Copy, let me have a look. Yeah,
that was Copy. It had a little bit of a snap oversteer and lost the car, and has to work again to get all the way back to the pack, and then lost several seconds there.
I think he's one of those drivers, I think, that also needs a good result, a really good result actually, in order to qualify for next season. But it's going to be the first season in a while, Ravenduck, that he actually has to qualify. I think the last few seasons he was quite comfortably in the top 10, you know, he was doing so well. Yep. But yeah, this could be like a Beaker situation where Beaker was comfortably getting into the top 10 every season, but then after like a 4th season or 5th season, I can't remember, he actually had to qualify. Copy is now going to fall into this territory. This is not what we expected for him at all this season. We were expecting him to be more consistent. He's been picking up more penalties this season as well, so yeah, we could see him in the qualifiers for RNL next season, but that's a shame for Copy. But if he does get into the qualifiers, he needs a lot of work to do, and so a bit of a shame that he's going to be in this situation. But yeah, a big shocker for Copy this season that he will have to qualify next season by the looks of it.
It's those lap 1 incidents for Copy that have plagued him last season and this season. He just couldn't seem to get away from it. Not even half of them were his own fault. I mean, maybe even more than 80% were more not his fault, but it just kept happening to him, and it's plagued him to the point where he might just miss out.
Yeah, which is a shame, of course. Well, we won't be able to tell you the standings ideally until I think a few days after the race, and then obviously they will confirm that Inter will be the top 10 and don't have to qualify, but they won't obviously all want to race next season, so who knows, we'll have probably more space in the qualifiers as well. So I am seeing as Hugo's is out the race, he's DNF'd, and do we have a safety car?
There is a full track safety car out right now.
Oh, so luckily I was just reading the board and I wasn't sure if it said VSC or safety car, but it does say safety car.
Oh,
so.
And this is a blessing for some idiot and Yanab and Top Jack and Jesper, all of them diving into the pits right as the safety car comes up. And that's going to be terrible for Top Tom and Andy, because they now have to drive slowly, and it could give some idiot a big opportunity to catch up and overtake them without even having to do anything.
Oh, this is good for the championship. This is good for the championship.
This is good. I like this. This is Brazil for you. This is the curveball. This is the one we needed.
I think we could see a fight between... Obviously, Yanab lost more time due to the fact that some idiot and... Obviously, Yanab double stacked, but because everyone else pitted alongside, they didn't lose positions. I think the only position Yanab lost was for Top Jack. That was it. So... Yanab technically alright, and he could possibly gain as well in the pit stops. But I think I'm almost certain Top Tom and Andy should still come out in front because of the gap, but they have to pit now in order to do so. So they both go in. They should be fine as long as none of them don't speed, please.
Yeah, Andy made a big streak there, but it seems to be fine.
So they both go in then, and so does Top Tom. And Top Tom is being held up, I think. No, he wasn't.
Here comes some idiot on the straight, and I think he's going to still be behind.
Yeah, to the Delta as well, potentially. I don't know. It's hard to tell at the end of the day, but I think it's still going to be behind, but it's going to be even closer and closer, just like lap 1. So, look at her, its girlfriend in the chat. She's getting a little bit tense now for Cody, of course, because now some idiot is now back in this race in order to win basically the race. Maybe not the championship, but at least the race. Some idiot's really good around this track as well, but maybe the drive is more his forte, and some idiot, this is your chance to prove it, Sunshine. So he's going to do it. Jesper, though, and Yonti, and Danico and Assassin, the only ones out of the ones who pitted. Actually, everyone has pitted, but those are the only ones who have pitted that went onto the soft compounder tyres.
They could make them last for the entire race, but that's going to be a stretch. It's still 35 more laps.
No, they can't.
They could do it.
They can't. Soft last 33 laps, but in safety car trim... Maybe it could, but their tyres are going to be stone hot, and the optimum pace, they're going to just lose it after 30, 31, 32 laps. So, no, if I were them, you have to pick one more time. Whereas for mediums, let me just check how long the mediums last again, as I seem to have lost my notes, unfortunately. But I'm almost certain from what I remember, writing down on my notes.
I think they lasted like 38 laps.
Yeah, 38 laps. So yeah, they will only just make it to the end, but they have a 3 laps buffer on the rest of the fields who pitted on the softs, obviously. So they should be fine. The ones who pitted onto mediums, they don't need to stop again.
That is true. Well, the ones on the softs might want this safety car to last as long as possible.
Yes.
And then they'll be fine, but realistically, I think the safety car might be 1, maybe 2 laps, and then it should be in. There's nothing going on track. Everybody seems to have caught up. Danico did a very late pit stop, and he's just ahead of the safety car, trying to get as much distance between it and him as possible. And other than that, some idiot is saved by this, realistically, because he was losing more than 5 seconds behind, now right back up to the pack again, and he has a race.
Yeah, everyone has a race as well, and I think Danico, Beaker, Assassin, I think everybody has probably gained with this safety car, because they'll be back in this race. They won't be lapped as well, so they'll have pretty much 50% race, as it were, to actually get up to speed, because we've already done 36 laps still to go. 35, I don't know, 35 or 34. Yeah, round about there.
It's gonna be a 50% race with a rolling start. There we go. This is what we're doing now.
Yeah, this is good. It breaks down the race. We've done the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that. Now it's time. It's time for the second half.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2 of the Rwagnation League Season 6. A shame that Ben wasn't able to join us today, but obviously you'll probably be watching it back. And Brazil always brings good championship finales. I remember watching Brazil, obviously, last season. Yenab did very well. So Yenab could be back in this fight as well. Andy and Garavan are probably the only ones in the top 10 I'll be thinking, safety car. If there's another one, or if the field stays this close for the whole race, I'm going to be in trouble, because I'm going to lose so much track position. Remember Canada, when there was a safety car towards the end of the race, and that just allowed Copy to go from like 12th to 2nd or 3rd, and he got a podium. And to be honest, Ben and me were screaming like crazy, because we were like, yeah, he got to be a podium, but that was his last podium that he got. So
yeah, so maybe that was a little bit of a jinx then on your part.
Yes, that we screamed, potentially. Sorry, Copy. But he's got no penalties now, but obviously 4 drivers got penalties, whereas in Canada, almost the whole field got penalties. But Brazil, not as easy as Canada to get penalties. And I believe the safety car light is still on, or is it going off?
It's in this lap. I can confirm, safety car in this lap. Message just popped up. So there we go. Top Tom is backing up the pack, and he knows this is a very long run to the finish line. And you want to do the Max Verstappen. Go as late as possible, and do not give them the chance to get the toe on you.
Doing the Magello. I think Top Tom would be doing the Magello right now, as Andy will be going side by side. We'll go on board with Top Tom. Top Tom's had a very good restart. Somebody has as well. But Andy has been caught napping at this moment in time. Top Jack's having a move with somebody as well. So much is going on in the turn 1. Keep it clean, lads. You kept it clean into turn 1 on the wet. Make sure you keep it on the dry. Top Jack having a brilliant one in the centre S as well. We got Yenab as well. Could this be free of threats going into turn 4? We'll have to wait and see. Keep it clean, which they're trying to as well. Somebody doing so well, but he can't now close in onto Andy, because he's now stuck in a train behind him as well. But the top 2 are just running away with it right now. Maybe they're helping each other now at this moment in time, but Jesper is in danger territory. He's on these softs, and he just can't get past any of the medium runners. His tyres are going to be toast towards the end of his stint, whereas everybody else doesn't need to stop again. So Jesper may go out of the points at this stage, but we'll find out very, very soon, of course. Meanwhile, Yonti's having a good restart as he gets past Copley up into P9. So Yonti at the moment looking very, very good for points, bearing in mind he's on the softs.
Making them softs work. Yeah, making those soft works. And it's crucial to get these positions on the softs, because you want to get as far forward as possible. Because you're fast now, but you're going to be slower near the end of the stint.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll watch out for the soft runners, I think, towards the end, because they can go to the end, but it won't be as optimum. Whereas, obviously, the ones on the mediums, they'll be optimum for the whole race now. As Danico has had another spin, and don't know what happened there, but you can see Assassin and Beaker right ahead as they go side by side. Assassin holds on to P11, and we got Jesper still on the end now, can't quite get close enough. So we've got Top Jack stuck in a racing point sandwich right now, doing well in 4th position. If it stays like this, Top Jack could get third, because don't forget Andy's got a penalty. So he's going to hope that train grows and grows as well. And yes, it is sunny now, so looks like we're not going to have any threat of rain, but you never know. Who knows what's going to happen in Interlagos, of course. But Top Tom advantage him, and his trophy hopes is definitely looking very, very sweet right now.
Yeah, the biggest loser of that restart was some idiot, because he was trying to go forward and look at an attacker on Andy, but instead he had to look behind because Top Tom was all over him.
Top Jack.
And Top Jack, there we go. I made the mistake first. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine, as Jesper and Janab is going for the move. Unfortunately, the camera can't quite got it at the moment, but Jesper's now up into P5, and not just somebody that's losing out, Janab is really losing out as well on those mediums, obviously due to Jesper's soft tyres, but he can't quite close up to the train as well, and at this rate, maybe P3 will be decided quite comfortably as well, because obviously Janab needs to be 15, outscore Andy by 15 points. There's no way Janab is going to do that unless Andy is where Janab is now and Janab wins the race, which is probably not going to happen right now. So it's probably going to be a foregone conclusion at this stage, but we're not going to say anything else because me and Ben have been criticised so many times for jinxing so many people, so we're just going to leave it there. So yeah. Chenjay, who has started on pole, is back in his race, but he just can't again quite get past. The DRS will be enabled soon, or is it enabled this lap? The notification not popping up, so I can't tell.
DRS should be enabled now. Yeah, it is enabled. Sorry, it is enabled this lap. So
here comes Chenjay into turn 4. He had DRS enabled, but couldn't quite do it. Chenjay's on 35% ERS though, so he was using so much. And let's look at Andy's ERS. Has he used a lot in the safety car restart? Yes, he has. He's now on 44. Top Tom is on 44 as well. Some idiot. Definitely the biggest loser on ERS as well. 27%. So, I don't know what I would do if I was Some Idiot, but Some Idiot's looking pretty racy right now. So, it's still not over for Some Idiot to get past Andy, because as it stands, Some Idiot will be second right now due to Andy's penalty, which Andy... I still feel annoyed to this day that Andy keeps getting penalties every race, but that will allow Some Idiot to get second on the road, and it would actually be the way that they finish in the championship, a 1, 2, 3. So that'll be a coincidence, won't it?
Yeah, it's just the championship order. They'll be on the podium. Makes it easier for us. So we can do the interviews in order, and it's fine. Yeah.
And he just realised that, and keep an eye on for interviews at the end of the race. We'll be obviously interviewing the podium sitters, and if the championship winner is not on the podium, which is going to be more than likely they're going to be on the podium, but if they're not, we will interview them anyway, because they deserve it as well, and we're going to hear their thoughts about the championship as a whole and how well they think it went, because obviously Andy led some of it as well. Some Idiot, I think, led a little bit as well, so yeah. I think all three of them had experience of leading the championship at some point. Andy, I think, more than others, but then Top Tom has really come to his own in the final few races. Don't forget, Andy missed last week, I believe, as well. So that
was big for him.
That definitely, he was in that fight before that point, and because he missed last race, that was why he was out of the championship fight.
Yeah, and it's still a very close train, and Some Idiot managed to claw back the track time he lost at the restart, and it's now just turned into a DRS train, and it needs to be broken some way, and I'm wondering how and who is going to do it, because Top Tom is fine with this. He'll just drive off and wave at everybody as he collects his championship, and Some Idiot needs to find a way to break this impasse and get going.
Yeah, because who knows, there could be other drivers that get penalties as well, so Some Idiot does not... He can't give up, because there's still plenty of things that could occur. So many scenarios as well. So Some Idiot just got to just treat it as like any other race, really. I know that he's probably out of the woods in terms of the championship, but is that a got remember moment? 2008, we thought Hamilton was out of the championship fight. Look what happened. And Hamilton obviously to win
until the flag drops.
Exactly. We've seen... And don't forget Vettel, I think it was 2012, he spun so many times, he was like near the back of the grid and he managed to get near the front. I think he won that time and he won the title, and we would never have thought it. So that's just life. So that just shows that you do not give up, and Top Tom just can't become complacent at the moment. I know he's leading, and he's thinking, right, I had the championship in my back pocket, but you can't think that. He's still got to think that Some Idiot is a threat.
Yeah, and the gap to leader all the way back to P9 is just a few seconds. So even if he makes a little mistake, gets off the track a little bit, he could lose so many track positions right now because the field is all on top of each other, and it's just impossible for him to make a mistake. So he needs to be pinpoint accuracy and just keep pumping out good laps. And well, I know Raggy knows this, but TopTom can do this. This is something he does.
Raggy keeps saying every stream that TopTom is not his favourite. And
yeah, not a fanboy, just passionate, but definitely fanboy.
Yeah, but Raggy is a fanboy, I have to say, of TopTom. And to be honest, I got to admit, I'm technically am as well, but I don't really show it. As Beak's out the race in final corner of, looks like Jung Sao. And do we have another safety car?
This is a virtual safety car right now.
VSC, okay, not safety car, thank God.
Not a full safety car. This is a virtual safety car, so this is different. This also comes back to who can get the restart perfectly, because once the race says restart happening, there's 10 seconds after the message where the race starts. So you're gonna have to be counting in your head and then just go. And if you go too soon, you're going to get a penalty.
A drive-through. That's what you get. I've experienced it. I think it was around... I wasn't sure if it was this very... Actually, it was this very track where I did get a drive-through. Luckily, it was a test race where it did that. So, luckily, nothing had anything about it. And I'm looking at penalties right now. No one has fallen victim to the drive-through or speeding on the VSC, so that's all good news. We could get racing again. Whoop! So, some idiot has probably gained the most out of this VSC situation. 3 attempts now between him and Andy. 3 attempts between him, Andy, and TopTom. So, we got on a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not tune out of this championship finale, because we've still got so many things that could happen right now. But Top Jack is looking very, very good as well. The top 11 still so close, and now with Beaker out of the picture, only one driver would not score points today out of the finishes, so plenty of incentive to keep going, because regardless, you are going to get points if you finish inside the top 10, and if you're just missing out in this big train, it may come down to who has the most penalties if the train stays like this.
Well, somebody who's not been napping during that virtual safety car is Andy, who's again stacked this ERS all the way up to 100%. And we're just waiting for him to use it right now. He seems like a little greedy man, just taking his penalty, his ERS, but not taking it anymore. Pushes the overtake now.
Oh, he's going to go for it. Is he going to actually go for it into turn 1? No, he tricked us. He tricked us, Ravenduck. He tricked us. No, Andy, go for the move, for goodness sake. That's what probably the engineers will probably be thinking. Andy, just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? But I know Andy's being patient. He's doing Lewis Hamilton, not going for the move until he sees fits. But we're just probably too greedy to see moves at the moment. These drivers know what they're doing.
And we want to see something happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Andy is just showing himself to TopTom now every time on the straight. This is the second time I see him weave out. So it's either cooling the tires, which I don't think this game works like that,
or slipstream.
Or he's just showing TopTom that he's there. He's faking the move and waiting for TopTom to close the inside door maybe and have a bad line through the first and second turn, and then pounce once he gets on the straight. But TopTom is just not falling for it. He knows I have the speed, I have the good line. You can try and dive me on the inside, but it's just not going to work.
Exactly. I think TopTom wants to go for this. He wants to get the win on track. I know that he's quite comfortable in taking the title now, but he wants to win it on track. He wants to be on the top step of the podium with the championship trophy in his hand. That's what he wants to do. That's what all championships winners want to do. They don't want to win it from finishing in 9th or 6th or whatever, like Lewis Hamilton in Mexico. They want to actually be on the top step by claiming a title. So this is what TopTom is doing. TopTom is racing for pride now at this moment in time. As he's just been looking comfortable from the offset. Chenjo's won the last few races. TopTom got so close in both of those races, but he just couldn't do it. This is his race now. He's got the most to lose in this situation. He can't afford to make any mistakes. He's doing okay at the moment. I'm sure his team at McLaren are keeping calm at the moment. Same with the boss, Zach Brown, who's probably watching in England or something like that. So
yeah,
I wonder what you'll be thinking. Or maybe Zach Brown is at the paddock right now helping the team. We don't know, but joking, of course he's not. But figure of speech. But let's see what Jesper's doing right now, because 2 tenths is a gap between Top Jet. Is he going to be ascendant we're looking for into turn 1? You can see Top Jet's running out of ERS. Jesper is almost running out of ERS actually as well. So this could be game on for both of these drivers as well. We've got around about 20 or so laps to go of this Brazilian Grand Prix, and 20 laps to go until the end of the Rwagnation League on F1 2020. We've had 2 amazing seasons, obviously one long season with a full calendar with 50% races, and then we've had a short calendar with 100% races. It's been a big part of obviously people's lives as well, and everyone's lives, and it's going to be a shame to see it go for a while, but obviously we will be back next season for season 7. I can't believe how many seasons. Yeah, it's gone by fast. I think the first time I watched Rwagnation was season, can't remember now, was it season 3? I think maybe. 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't know. Either season 2 or 3, but I remember commentating on my first race, never looked back. So, and I'm doing this full time, which is great. Anyway, I don't think we're going to see any moves at the moment, so it's going to be quiet. But we'll see what Andy could do this lap.
Yeah, surprisingly, TopTom pushes out a fastest lap without DRS. He's at the front. People are chasing him, and he's just pushing out a fastest lap without DRS. No problem. I'm here. Come and get me.
He's on fire.
He's just taunting right now. Yeah, he is just. You know when you have those little bouncing plastic middle fingers on the spring that you can put on the dash of your car and just wave at the cars behind. I think he might as well have one of those on his car right now, because Andy is behind him, and Andy just can't do anything at the moment.
I have to say though, Andy is still running a good race despite his penalty that he got. But for him, he's not making any mistakes either. He just can't get past due to the dirty air, which I think is affecting his race right now. But this is technically a sprint to the finish now, and if this is how the race is going to end, then so be it. It would end how it is in a championship due to Andy's penalties, of course. But obviously, Andy will be delighted that Janab is not having a good race, because that will think, right, it will be P3 in the bag. Even though he's got a place confirmed next season, he wants P3. Do they still get trophies for the top 3 as well, or is it just the winner that gets a trophy?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, right,
I think it's only the winner.
Only the winner, okay. But I know Andy would want to get P3 for his accolades anyway.
It's bragging rights, isn't it?
Yeah, it is bragging rights.
You're a Rwagnation League champion, or P3, or podium sitter.
Or runner-up.
Yeah, it is bragging rights that you want. So I think Andy is content with a P3.
Galbaband spun in turn. Let me just check what turn that was.
That would be 8.
I think so. That was 7-8 area. I don't know. I haven't got the track map in front of me, but
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it is 8, and that was awful for Galbaband. I think he's got a bit of damage as well.
Yeah, left front wing is completely gone.
So did he spin it, or did he make contact with someone? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Unfortunately, we haven't had any view on that on the stream. There are some drivers that do stream their stream, so...
Oh, and I'm sorry to interrupt you right there, but TopTom just picked up a 3-second penalty for track warnings.
Yeah.
And that is massive.
That is massive. That is massive, actually. Championship's on. I told Summit not to give up. This could... I told him also for TopTom to not become complacent, and he just picked up that penalty as well. Oh, this could be.
This is big. Andy kept showing himself on the straights to TopTom in the mirrors. He's like, I'm still here. I'm still threatening you. And TopTom might have just had a moment where he was not really paying attention and just picked up the penalty.
Oh, look at somebody's girlfriend looking in the chat. Don't jinx him, no. Don't jinx him, no. Because if it's going to be one of us that jinx him, well, it's going to be so annoying. But this championship can go down to the wire. It may not go to Tom. We'll see, because obviously the top two and Assassin are the only drivers to not pick up any penalties. So, are the only drivers to pick up penalties, sorry. But that is interesting, and obviously we have Galvan in the chat now. Sorry to hear what happened, my friend, but pick yourself up for next season, and hopefully you can have a better start to next season. But it was great to see you battling in the race, obviously, Galvan, but unfortunate that your season ended this way, but don't give up hope.
No, definitely. You're going to come back stronger next season, and yeah, you should be fine. He has pace, just a little bit of consistency that needs to get into driving. Meanwhile, some idiot is... I hope his engineer has told him that the cars in front of him have penalties.
Some idiot knows. Some idiot knows, because it will have a free S on Andy and Top Tom in the game. So some idiot does know. But he may not be paying attention to that. So if I was the Racing Point chef, also known as Falsetti, I would say, right, you could still win the championship. Andy and Top Tom have got penalties. That it could still happen. And look at this, because of that, potentially, if Top Jack could close the gap on some idiot. I'm just looking at the gap now. Let me have a look. He's
gap to leader.
2.8 seconds. He's losing time as well. If he just claws back that time, Top Jack could be on the podium.
Well, yeah, not just Top Jack, but behind him, Jesper is still there. He's having a lot of trouble getting past Top Jack, because he's been trying lap after lap after lap, and he has to pay attention, because those tires are not going to last, and he either does it now or he starts preserving those tires, because if he wants to take those all the way to the end, he's going to have to use every inch of rubber on that tire.
Yeah, he does as well, and I think Jesper, I wonder if he was saving. He's definitely not saving, because he's got loads of not much ERS, but he's got plenty of overtake. He's not even using overtake. He's like, right, I'm going for the move. You don't really want to make contact into the center S, which you did not, which is good. But look at this. Yenab could seize opportunity as well on Jesper. We'll go on board with Jesper as well, as Yenab tries to attack. He gets P5, but for how much longer? Jesper going side by side into now turn 5 and are heading towards turn 6. They almost made contact a little bit. This is ever so close between the pair of them right now, but they're still keeping it together. Look at Chenjay. Chenjay's in this as well, as they go through this twisty bit of the circuit heading towards turn 7, turn 8. Wow, we're actually seeing some racing now. This is amazing. We're going to get some final few laps here of pure action, and Chenjay goes past Jesper and up into P6. I think Jesper's tyres are dying and the memes are starting to come into his own. Good old Chenjay. He's back in this race. Brilliant job from him.
Yeah, Yenab, and then after Jesper tried to get back at Yenab, he was out of position, and Chenjay saw his opportunity and just seized it. And just like that, Jesper tried to attack Top Jack, and it ended up with him losing 2 positions. That is pretty brutal.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal for Yenab. But I'm just looking at the gap. I think that must have... If he did not get challenged for the move, I think he probably still would have been closing up. But obviously Yenab would need to be winning the race anyway, and he's not even winning the race. So no matter what happens, Andy would be in 3rd position right now. So yes, and speaking of... points, someone actually pointed out in the chat, I did not realise that everyone who finishes right now will score points, and that also means extra point for fastest lap. Will we see the likes of Assassin and Copy go into the... Well, Assassin did it, but will we see Copy, Yonti, maybe, potentially, go into the pits towards the end of the race and go for fastest lap?
Yeah, it's an extra point. You could just get it for free. If Assassin is too far behind, can't get it anyway. Just his last lap on some softs, get a fresh set on, and get the fastest lap. Get 2 points instead of 1. It's free real estate, realistically.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, to be honest, if I was Assassin, he did the right thing for going at it. Maybe because he's so far behind, go for it again. Go for it. Pit again if you have fresh set of softs left. Just do it. But I don't think he has. So that's probably why he's pitting now, but I think he probably had, because otherwise his soft would have died. So probably if you have a fresh set of softs left and you have a comfortable gap and you're not going to gain much, just box, because otherwise...
Well, he just did it, because fastest lap goes to Assassin.
There you go. So good tactics for Assassin there. So he could gain the same amount of points that Cubby gets. If you look at it, so Cubby will get 2 points. Assassin will also get 2 points, but I know if I was a Red Bull engineer, you would probably tell Copy, right, if you're not getting on Yonti, I would box in around about 5 or 6 laps time, going fastest lap. But will Assassin follow him in if he has enough tyres left? We will see.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, some idiot is
sorry
trying
to interrupt. We got Chenji and Yanab on the move again. Yanab saw Chenji earlier on and was like, oh, what was that about? But I think Chenji's now feeling the same thing for Yanab now. He's got Yanab and Jesper all over him as well, and they almost made the move work, and the train is still growing and growing, and all of this is allowing Top Tom to still comfortably be winning this championship. This is helping Top Tom now, even with this penalty. So I wonder what these guys are doing at the moment with this stuck in the train. This is a good race for us, but it's not helping some idiot with his championship chances, even if some idiot wins the race. So we shall see, of course. But you know, let me just look at penalties actually, up to date. So Top Tom and Andy both on 3 seconds, so is Yonti and Assassin. So at least for now, no one else is getting any more penalties, so that is good. We'll see the warnings very, very soon as well. Will Chenji go for a move, this time on Top Jet? He's looking very good, very good. They're both running low on ERS. So going into turn 1, maybe Yenab will slide into the middle of them soon as well. This could be free abreast going into turn 2. We'll have to find out. Let's watch Yenab actually going onto the back of him. Yenab's looking really good on the gearbox on Top Jack actually. Gonna go side by side into turn 4. Breaking just for the 100-meter board. Top Jack just holds on, but Chenji is up into P4 of this race. He is going back to where he belongs. He's got to gain so much ground in order to get in into the podium positions, but fair play to Chenji right now. Top Jack was doing all he could, but I think Chenji just had the overall pace on the rest of the field right now. I think Chenji could score, still got some good points. It's a shame he would have not been fine for the win, but I think him pitting when he did in the changeable conditions just did not help him at all.
It was a bit of a gamble from him, but it was the wrong gamble. You see, he only did one more lap on these tires, and oh my god, I just got a message that Jenna left the session.
So did I, but we got a battle though, as ghosting is off, don't forget, so they're going to try and get past the Yanabs at AI. They've probably seen that, so both Jesper and Yonti get past Yanab, so that is not good for Yanab. Yanab is probably screaming at his PC. It may be that his game's crashed. It probably might be his game crashed.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's got rubbish internet, because I didn't see a red bar against his name when I was on board with him. So I think it is a game crash for him.
And I do not have him in my list to invite him again. So
Neither do I. Neither do I. So maybe if someone who is retired and still in his race could invite him, that'll be lovely. So I don't have him either, I don't think. So he may have a backup invite. Hopefully he has a backup invite, because I'll probably save him. His stream went down 2 or 3 laps ago, so it probably is.
Oh, that might be an internet problem, yeah.
Or it may be his PC altogether. It may just be his PC died. But anyway, Andy was looking just good on Tom, but the more that they battle, the more that Summit could get into it. But as it stays like this, obviously Summit will win, but it'll be bittersweet. It'll be bittersweet for Summit, because even the win will just be not quite enough, but at least the gap won't be as dominating as it was coming into this race. The gap was, I think, 17 points. It will be 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 points. So not too bad if you think about it.
But not enough.
Not enough. So thank you, Owen, for the heads up that about the stream, but it probably may be his internet. I think maybe the Jeffs could confirm that potentially, but we will find out, of course, as Copy gets past the ghost of Yenab, well, the AI, the Yenab bot of Yenab. So there we go. And this is a top 3's chance to bounce now. We got the final third of the race still to go. Would you want to go for the risk now?
I don't know. It's you see Andy's showing himself in the mirror of Top Tom every time, and Top Tom has so much overspeed on the straight that Andy just doesn't have any opportunity to overtake. Ooh. He's doing it again, but it's just not 1/10 more, and he's there. Yeah.
He's just teasing us. I got to agree. I think Top Tom has a much better straight line speed setup from the way he's driving right now. He's driving perfectly the whole race. He's been doing all he can as well. And I think maybe he's going to have some much better taste of champagne tonight, I have to say. I wonder if he's going to be celebrating quite a bit. Quite a few people will have things to celebrate as well. And obviously Top Jack as well, don't forget. With his position in the championship, he'll be automatically qualifying into next season if he obviously just chooses to race next season. So he was probably not expecting. Another driver who has had some good races, USA being one of them, of course. And I think there was a few other races where Top Jack was performing very, very well. So maybe he could be a threat next season. But yeah, the way this is going, Top Jack will also qualify for next season, which will be a good boost for his confidence, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same goes for the Haas boys. Jesper and Jonty both are already pretty much qualified for next season. They're good, and they're getting good points for the team this weekend. With the off strategy as well, I wonder if they can bring those tires all the way home, or if Copy's going to have something to say about that, because he's 5 seconds behind. If those tires die off, Copy might just be gifted a few more points.
Yeah, I think he would. Could he? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It does depend on if Jesper loses a bit of ground, because he's got... Actually, no, not Jesper, Jonty, because Jonty's got more penalties. Assassin is probably going to get P10 anyway. If Yenab goes back into the session, I think Yenab will just want to fight the fastest lap point. But unfortunately, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. And did I just see Yenab's AI go... No, I did not see Yenab's AI go into the pits. Somebody was just doing a dummy there for a moment. Yeah, I thought I just saw in the background, but obviously not. But you can see somebody playing a bit of mind games. He knows he's going to take the win on track if he just keeps in between Andy and Top Tom. But he just wants to have a bit of a laugh. He's knows he's out of the championship fight, but he's probably going to think, please, one of you two, both of you make a mistake. Both of you just make contact. But we don't want that. We want them to have a fair fight. But Summit knows he's still in this. But if he thinks that none of them are going to make a mistake, somebody will probably think, let's just have some fun. Have a good final few laps of the Rwagnation League and just show why us three deserve to be in the top 3 of the Rwagnation League. As they're proving definitely all season that they are the best of the best out of anyone. To be honest with you, they've been pretty much the top 3 the whole way through this season. There's been some races where obviously Andy lost a bit of ground in China. Top Tom, I think, had a bit of bad races as well, but Top Tom has had more good races than bad, so that's probably why he's been the favourite pretty much going into the final race. As Andy 2/10 behind Top Tom. Oh, this is game on once again. This is very, very difficult. How many warnings has somebody got? Has he got any?
I shall check for you.
Thank you very much, because I'm used to be able to check, but now I can't, because I'm the one streaming for a change.
I'll check for you how many.
Thank you. And I think somebody could get Andy this lap, but it is going to be impossible. I think they're going to start to make more risks now. I wonder if they do, to be honest, because, you know, you got nothing to lose at the end of the day for somebody to go, well, Andy, out of the 2 or 3 of them, he's got the least to lose, because obviously because Yenab's now in 9th, he's disconnected. You probably won't be scoring any points, so because of the disconnection. So Andy will be fair in the championship, so he's going to probably help Top Tom. So what are the warnings like for somebody? I'm guessing none.
He has 1 warning.
All right, so
which
not
is
too
very
bad.
uncharacteristic for him.
I thought he would have none. He's usually pretty clean, so
yeah, normally he is squeaky clean, but he's
we got
one
a
more.
battle. Maybe is Andy gonna go for it? Oh, he's teased us again, ravenduck. He's teased us again, but yeah, it's just making our palms sway, and we're not even racing. We're the ones commentating, and we're just so many action. But you can tell Andy and somebody are just pushing now. They're just being patient. They want to give us some action on the final few laps and make it the Rwagnation season finale. Definitely one to remember. So this is more like it, boys. But the sun is starting to set just a little bit. More shadows, I think, as well. So temperatures will start to cool a bit as well, which will help the tyres a little bit as well. But we've got to keep an eye on Jesper, Jonty. Both of those drivers, they've been on the softs for almost their sell-by date. So we'll see if they could keep their tyres in a good condition. They should be fine, but that ultimate pace, they will lose it straight away. But yes, very good. Final few laps coming up. We'll see what Minute could do, actually. 3 tenths behind Andy. Let's go on board with him right now. We're going to see people trying to bait some positions. Minute is very, very close, actually, onto the back of Andy.
He might give it a go.
This could be make or break. No, just not this lap. We can keep thinking, is it this lap or next lap or the one after? We don't know. But Andy, I think maybe we're just like, nope, you're not getting that move. Could it be this corner that somebody can go for the move? Maybe he cannot. Maybe he's not going for it, knowing he's going to get the win on penalties. So maybe, but to be honest, he wants to have a little bit of fun and wants to get it on track anyway.
Yeah, no need for him to force it, so
No.
might as well stick where he is. But then again, you might run into that risk where you do catch that penalty, and then all of a sudden you're in third and realize, oh, I just lost the win.
Yeah. And you just don't want to lose. You don't want to go into a spin or anything like that. So maybe, I know we say to the drivers for the top 3, don't take risks. Well, take risks. But if I was somebody, don't take risks. Stay behind these 2. You should be fine. The gap behind is a decent amount. They don't have any penalties, and there's no way they're going to catch up to me. Just make sure you keep a reasonable gap between the top 2. And you should be able to get it. Oh, here comes Andy. Here comes Andy for the race lead. And he's got the race lead.
Unexpectedly, somehow, I think TomTom just had a bad exit. And Andy was just right there to pounce on it and instantly had it. No coming back from that.
And maybe some idiot could gain advantage of this as well. We've got 3 more laps to go at this Grand Prix. And Andy will be finishing ahead of TomTom. And it stands, which is uncharacteristic, I have to say, in terms of the championship, but I think Andy would take it. It's a shame that he got a penalty, because if it wasn't for a penalty, Andy would have got the win. But
indeed,
we don't want to yeah, but I think somebody, obviously with only 1 warning, obviously there's no way somebody is going to get a penalty right now, unless he cuts massively, which he's not.
Unless he's being heavily commentated cursed right now.
No, I'm not. I don't want to jinx anyone. The final few laps, I'm not going to jinx anyone, because I know these guys are going to kill me, and I know Dave is going to kill me as well if he's Jeffing tonight, of course. So not going to say anything more. As we're on lap 70 of 71, time has flown by in obviously the Rwagnation League. On the final 2 laps of this race, this is now or never for these 3 as well. And we got Jesper on Top Jack. Actually, no, Top Jack on Jesper actually as well. They're going to still go side by side here. Jesper is past the sell by date in terms of time, and Yenab has joined. We're probably too little too late to go for fastest lap, so a bit of a shame. But Top Jack is going to go for a move on the right hand side of Jesper. Maybe not quite. Maybe the soft tyres are starting to die, and this could be like Top Jack's chance. But Jesper's now up in the 5th position. He is definitely improving the status quo right now, but this still could be Top Jack's chance to get him on the final lap. And
yeah,
this
he's
could
close enough for it.
Yeah, he is. He is close enough for it as well. Maybe Jonty. No, Jonty's got a penalty, so scrap Jonty. But we're going to be going on to the final lap of the Rwagnation League for F1 2020. We had a lot of highs and we had a lot of lows so far. But these guys have been shown that they can get those mediums for quite a bit long into this race, which is great to see. And he's taking the fastest lap of the race so far. He is flying. Absolutely flying right now.
He's been released and he is just checked out. He's gone. TomTom's not getting back at him. And Samidi just fine sitting where he is. He's like, I'm within 3 seconds. I don't have to risk anything. I'm good. Let's just, let's end this race so I can take the podium.
Yeah, some idiot. He's ran out of ERS as well, and as well as Andy and Top Tom, but they don't need to worry. So, yeah, it's going to be bittersweet for some idiot, but at least some idiot is going to have some glory in this race. At least he's going to win a race anyway. Here comes Top Jack on Jesper. Wow, that was very, very good. I think we're going to miss out on this battle because we've got to do our official crown, and we can't miss this. But here we go then. As Andy's not going to get the win on track, but Andy's going to take a comfortable third place in this championship, which is what he deserves. So Andy comes across the line on track for the win. Somebody will take the win, but it is Top Tom, who is your Season 6 Rwagnation League champion. Massive well done to Top Tom. Somebody takes the win on track, but it is Top Tom that takes the championship. Well done to him.
Yeah, and Jesper and Jonty made those tires last all the way to the end. And even Yenab, I know we'll have to see what happens to him, if he gets a point or if he does not get a point for the disconnect. Did come back, but we'll see. And league coordinators will have to discuss about that. But on track, some idiot with the master plan. Just stay behind, don't risk anything, and get the race win. Sadly, not enough for a championship, but I think he'll be happy to take the race.
And you'll be happy that he closed the gap ever so slightly at the end, so it's not as dominating. So the gap's now 11 points. So I think, with all things considered, these two have had a very good fight, and they've shown us that they could do well as well. I think they both will be very, very respectable as well. And yeah, I'm very happy with how the season finale has played off as well. And yeah, if someone can send somebody's reaction, that'll be lovely. But it's usually Yenab that streams, so. But unfortunately, I think Yenab stopped the stream, so I don't think we're going to get that. But we got pretty much all the top three that got something to celebrate. Obviously, somebody with the win, Top Tom with the championship, and Andy confirming third place. So, they're both going to have, all three are going to have big celebrations, and we're going to talk about it in the interviews. But we can also confirm, I think, the top 10, because obviously, I think the ones who needed a good result today has got a bad result. But yeah. Driver of the day, in game anyway, goes to Jesper. But Ravenduck, who is your driver of the day? Who has been the one that's impressed you?
Well, I think it has to be Andy. Even though he picked up a penalty, he did manage to get that overtake done in the end. And he's had a few bad races, but this one was on point from him again, as we saw at the start of the season. Sad about the penalty, but bragging rights, first across the line.
I would have to give it to Andy as well. That move he made on the final lap as well, and I questioned him about saving his ERS when he did, but to be honest, it helped him. So we'll go through your results. So we've got some idiot from Andy, from Top Tom, your newly crowned champion. We got Chenje as well, who got pole, but the strategy call on the dries too early did not help him there. Top Jack gets 5th, Jesper 6th, Jonty 7th, Copy in 8th. I don't think he's done enough to claim the top 10. Let me just check the points going into this. So Copy is on 28. No.
I don't think it's enough. Nope.
No, P won't. And neither is... So I can confirm your top 10 for... let me just go through the rest results as well. Copy, Assassin, Yenab. Not sure about points for him, but we'll see. Fast lap, though, goes to Andy, which is well deserving. So he gets 19 points instead of 18. So, and then we got your timers as Beaker, Danico, Hugo, and Cruises. And it's raining again, look. So I can confirm your top 10 for Season 6, or automatically qualified to next season, are obviously Top Tom, Some Idiot, and Andy. Obviously, it was to be expected. As well as Yenab, Mateo, Top Jack, Jonty, Jesper, Cruisit, and Vexit. Those 10 have made it to Season 7, and they don't have to qualify. So big congratulations to them. It's been like that since the start of Brazil today, and it's going to be like that at the end due to the fact Danico and Hugo's and Galvaban did not have a good race, and Assassin and Copy did score points, but they did not do enough. So congratulations to the top 10 as well. They deserved it.
All right, so shall we start with RP3?
Yeah, we may as well.
Yeah,
Interject.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Hello.
Apologies. Hang on, let me try and I'm trying to turn down the AZC game because we're endurance racing at the same time.
All right.
There we go.
there you go.
Just wanted to say thank you to you guys in particular for everything you guys have done this entire season. Obviously, all the league staff, everybody who's involved in the RNL from a staffing perspective, commentators, stewards, league coordinators, everything. All the drivers, all the race engineers, and all of the viewers for making it such an exciting season that it has been. Obviously, in terms of next season, we're going to see how it goes with the new game and whether or not it's good enough or not. So far, so good. Looks promising. So, watch this space. Format will be changing more than likely if we do continue, so bear that one in mind as well. But again, huge shout out to you guys, and also thank you so much specifically to Ravenduck today for organising a very last minute the whole broadcast of this. I would be lost without you. Thank you very much, mate.
No problem.
Huge congrats to Top Tom on the championship. Congrats to Somebody on the win, and I will see you guys soon. Enjoy the interviews.
Cheers and best of luck for your race.
Thank you, boss man.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you soon.
That was nice to hear from the boss man at the end of that race. That was a bit of a nice surprise there as well. But give him some love, I think, in the Discord as well for this ATC race as well. So now we will get obviously Top Tom finished P3. But we're going to wait for that.
I think we'll leave him for last then.
So we'll do, should we do Andy first? Because we won on
Andy
track,
first.
but he finished in P2. So let's get Andy.
All right, I'm getting Andy here.
Oh, this is the first time I've done this. This is great.
Yeah, here you go. Here is Andy.
There you go. Andy, can you hear us?
Yeah, can hear you.
Brilliant. So, Andy, your pace was on fire towards the end of that race. Shame about that penalty, but you got the fast lap on track. You won on track as well, but unfortunately with that penalty, you got come across the line in P2. A great way to end the season.
Yeah, it was okay. Pace was pretty fit at the start because, for most of the races, especially at the last half of the calendar, I didn't practice at all. And towards the end of the races, pace is normally quite okay. But fortunately had that penalty. Somebody never does have any penalty, so but it's okay.
Yeah, it seemed like you had a lot of trouble overtaking Top Tom every time you were trying to. Were you holding back avoid the overtake until the end? You knew you had it.
Yeah, there's no reason overtaking in this game. I just waited. I had 100% RS like the whole race, and
Yeah, we noticed that. I see you were just hanging on to it. And so you could have done it at any time, but just kept us waiting.
I probably couldn't have put him out at DRS, so there's no point.
All right, that's a good run to do it, actually. We were wondering why you kept the ERS so high, so here's the answer. You just always could have done the overtake, but you were not sure you were going to be able to hold on to P1.
If I would have done it, he would have just overtaken me back at the end. So
yeah,
you just have to wait in this game, unfortunately.
It's the nature of Brazil. It's the ERS train, DRS train all the way around the track.
Nature of the game, really.
Yeah, true that. True indeed. But still, you've solidified your P3 in the championship as well. You happy with that at least?
Well, I think I'm the fastest if I actually practice. But I don't know, since the China race, I don't know. I never really practiced
keep
that
your
much.
nose clean of penalties, maybe?
Yeah, as well. It's just a lack of practice, I guess. I think pace is decent, but But I don't. It's not. Yeah.
So if a next season happens, are we going to see you contending for the championship then?
I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of leagues I could do. WOR also next season, maybe ORL or PSJL. So I don't know yet.
Yeah, but you want those RNL bragging rights. That's where it's at, honestly.
Yeah, RNL's the best league. Go on.
Yeah, but thanks for the season. You were really good
Thanks for
to watch.
It. Thanks for commentating.
Yeah,
You're
and,
welcome.
You're welcome indeed. And we'll hope to maybe see you again next season.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right.
All
Let's
right.
get the next one up.
Should we get our race winner who just missed out on the championship? Should we get Cody
Let's
himself?
get him in.
Yeah.
See if he's calmed down enough. And
Cody.
here he is.
Hello.
There we go. You didn't quite get the championship, but towards the end of the race, that wasn't your goal, really. Your goal was to win the race, and you did it by the series of margins. Tell us, how does it feel to win in Brazil and get another race win under your belt?
Can I be brutally honest?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was actually the most disappointed I have felt from winning a race in a while.
Understandably.
I wanted to win championship somehow, some way. Wasn't meant to be. I don't even think I would have won the race without that mid-race safety car. They had me for dust. That safety car gave me a second lease on life per se. But yeah, I mean,
And
disappointed.
once you lost the DRS, it was just all gone from you in that first section of the race.
Yeah, because I missed the setup a little bit. I actually made a front wing adjustment I shouldn't have made, because I had 3 front wing at the start of the race. We would normally run 4 if it was a long wet stint, but I went down to 2 and I just had no front end for about 10 laps on the soft. And I think I should have kept the front wing in. Maybe I wouldn't have caught him, but I wouldn't have lost as much. Safety car gave me a chance to kind of reset, and yeah, I mean, just like I said, I'm happy to win, but disappointed I couldn't get much more. I felt like I couldn't really even attack them up front. I tried a lot of different things, trying to find momentum, do different things, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy to win the race, but you want more. And congrats to Tom.
It's not the win you wanted, is what we conclude from this. It's a
Yes.
win,
Yeah,
but it's not a nice win.
yeah, and I don't know, like, for 2021, I'm not even sure how much I'll be league racing. This could be maybe one of my last races. I don't know. I don't know yet. It's like, I want a little
And that would
something
be
more out
sad
of it.
because you've brought us a lot of joy throughout this season. It's been amazing to see you race, and you've done some great things. And I think your maiden win in the RNL was one of the most memorable moments ever in the RNL,
Yes.
especially with the soundtrack to go with it. So, I would urge you to reconsider. I hate to see you leave, but
We'll see on that. We'll see on that. But like I said, congrats to Tom. Well done to him. He put together the superior season. Wish I maybe did a couple things differently. Maybe 1 or 2 things that I might have a bit of regret on. But you can't say I didn't give it everything I had.
Indeed.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, everything in the kitchen sink has been thrown.
Well,
And
Yeah.
you've like I said, thank you and thank Racing Point because you did get the constructors championship
so you have got
for what
something.
it's worth. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. But both you and Yanap have done amazing races, and it's been a joy and a pleasure to have watched and commentated on you.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Just wish there's something a little bit more at the end of the tunnel, but I tried.
Yeah, you
That's
definitely
all I
tried
know.
there.
I tried.
Yeah. What would you say was your favourite RNL race, apart from obviously your first win, but for this season, what was the race where you're like, oh, that was a really, really good race?
I mean, for me, it probably would have been Monza, just being able to run lights out. Like, that was probably one of the best cars I've ever had in league racing, Monza. That was just running from flag to flag, having the car under me to do something I usually don't get the chance to do. But Monza for me, just from having that experience to do what I did that day.
It's a great track to win in the Temple of Speed.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thank you for this season, and we'll hope to see you next one.
Thank you both of you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now we're going to get the man of the moment. Even though somebody won the race, we got the man of the season to bring into this as well. He's been the most consistent driver out there. He did what he needs to do today. It wasn't the win of the race he was looking for, but Tom, congratulations, RNL Season 6 champion. Is that still hasn't sunk in yet?
Probably not. I think, yeah. Thank you very much. It's been a fun season overall. It was definitely something different. 100% races. Not sure whether that'll stay or not, but yeah, happy with that. I'm not happy with the race because I got a penalty from the pit exit after
Yeah.
Oh,
the first chicane. I went left well early, and that was my warning. He gave me a penalty, so
Oh.
that annoyed me. So then I basically just
Well, there.
went
Yeah.
to
Well,
make sure that
it's
I
water
keep.
under the bridge, but there is the option to appeal that, obviously.
Yeah, although I think I got a warning afterwards. I think so.
Okay.
That might be a rip. But either way, I still win the championship, so it's all good.
Yeah. The most consistent driver throughout, although you had a little bit of difficulty in the middle stint of the season.
Mm.
Anything you reflect on there? Or was it just the tracks, or was it like a bit of concentration loss?
It's all quite vague, really. I mean, there were races this season. Yeah, I definitely could have done a lot better. My quality definitely has been, apart from maybe 2 or 3 rounds, not like what I'd like. But I think the end of the day, 100% races helps with that. Just makes it more about consistency and overall pace, and yeah, that really helped me. I think I wasn't as clean on some idiot on penalties shown today,
Yeah.
but I was still pretty decent and still managed to have solid pace most of the races. So I think all in all, for the most part, it's you can look back at races and think should have maximised it here, should have done better here. But at the end of the day, that's a season. It's never going to go perfect, is it? So you just learn, and yeah, it's worked out in the end. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. We still remember your amazing drift in Japan.
yes.
And any chance of you picking up some drifting championships along the way?
Potentially.
So,
I've never been a drifter, but always been a good catcher. So that always
yeah.
helps.
Yeah,
Can't
so
hold
good
it, but I
say
can.
good saver. Good saver. You'll be a good
Yeah, can't hold
goalkeeper.
it, but I can save it. Yeah, pretty
What?
much. Yeah, which always helps in this type of motorsport. So
Definitely,
honestly,
definitely.
honestly, if Beaker does highlights of the season, Beaker's got to put your save in Japan there. He's got to. If he doesn't, then he's fired. Joking.
Indeed. Well, I'll forward the message to him.
Don't
Yep.
put the
Other
you're
than that,
fired bit.
today, Andy was saying he had you pipped the entire race. Any comment on that?
probably true. I know he had 100%. He was just holding it the entire race. I mean, yeah, my pace on soft was better. I felt like if it was just soft, then I would have been able to just keep ahead of him. But I wasn't. I was kind of just saving fuel in that stint, really. And I knew I could get my ERS back up because I knew he wasn't really going to attack me. Or if he did, then I would have just hang on to the DRS. But that safety car probably didn't help. There were a lot of moments in that race where I just didn't really have the pace I was hoping. The start of the race where the intermediates, I don't know why, but I just was really struggling, even though in theory I shouldn't have really. There was nothing odd with my setup or anything from usual. But and then as it dried up though, the pace came back, and then the softs came in, and then somebody was struggling quite a bit. So it's basically it looked like an easy road to at least top 2, and then obviously safety car happened, and yeah, penalty very annoyed me. I didn't really have the pace at the beginning to sort of just get away and stay on the mediums, and I think it was clear from the beginning that Andy was sort of egging me on. I was just making mistakes, not hitting apexes, and yeah, I think it was inevitable that he was going to get me at the end. Obviously, that didn't matter too much with the overall championship, so it was is what it
Yeah.
is.
You just
Obviously,
let him
if I didn't get
go
a
and win
penalty,
the championship.
if I didn't get a penalty, then I still would have beaten him. So on consistency,
Yeah, true.
I would have beaten it if I didn't bottle it. But yeah, that penalty really annoyed me, so I basically just bolted at that point. I was
Well,
like,
you
not
can
having any of
just
it.
scratch that penalty out because it
And then
didn't affect you, and you won the championship anyway.
exactly. So, well, yeah, that's what I was scared of. The train just staying, and then end up down P6.
Yeah, there was always that risk that if you make a mistake, slide off, lose a couple of seconds, then you'll be too far back, and
Yeah, well,
somebody
it's a short
could have
circuit, so
taken you.
it's even if you do have a little bit of extra pace, it's hard to pull away anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, all worked out. So yeah, I think this season's been very fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've not really enjoyed the game, in all honesty. hoping for 2021 will be
Oh,
better.
join the club, but okay.
But this league's made that game just that bearable. So
That's good to hear. That's brilliant.
Yay.
That's what the RNL is here for all of us to
making racing
barely
bearable.
make it through the game.
That's the final message.
And plans for next season. Are you going to be there next season and potentially get another Dubski in the championship?
If it's here next season, potentially, we'll have to see. Again, I don't know what the plans are and race format, etc.
No, the race format is probably very subjective to change, and we're gonna have to look at the game first before we do another season, because we had 2 races mid-season that were just completely botched because of the game, which is sad. Yeah, which is sad, but other than that, it's been a great season, and it's been amazing to have you here. I think Raggy is still trying to get his hands on some Top Tom merch, because he's not a fanboy, but definitely passionate.
If not, can we make some?
We have to fix something for him.
Wow.
And he's
Private
probably
racking
celebrating somewhere.
Whilst he's racing, of course, in ACC.
Whilst he's doing his ACC stint, yeah.
Can someone just hit him up and let him know?
Yeah, well, he just requested you sign his boobs, and then he'll take that. It's fine.
Right, well, you never know.
Well, you never know. The Rwagnation meetup live boob signing. Let's do it.
No.
But again, thank you for the season, and thank you for all the joy you've brought to us and the racing, and hopefully see you next season.
Thank you very much.
So there you have it then. After the brilliant race that we had in Brazil, and obviously throughout the whole season, we've done it. All the 100% races complete. We survived. We've had all the trials and tribulations, and we finally had a winner for the championship as well. So many highlights that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the Britain race. That was my favourite as well. But just before we go and do our thank yous and stuff, any races, Ravenduck, when you were watching, because I think you watched most of them and stewarded quite a few of them, I believe. What was the race that stood out for you as like, that's a good race?
I think I'd have to go with some idiots Monza win. It was amazing, and the reaction video afterwards was crazy as well. So yeah, that I think it's the Temple of Speed. You can't get a wrong race there.
Yeah, Monza was very good. Monza was very good, actually. I very enjoyed that as well. But I think the battles that I enjoyed as well was Britain with where Ben was on pole position. And he had some battles with Top Tom and Andy, and he was able to defend for so long in between safety cars and stuff, and still kept Top Tom at bay. That was just gold. I know Ben's not in the league anymore, but that was just a highlight for me as well. And obviously Top Tom save in Japan, that was a big highlight, which should be in there. I got to with all honesty as well, but yeah, it's been a good season. I've got to say a good thank you anyway. First of all, thank you to the boss man himself, Raggy, for making this league happen, of course, because even though he's mainly concentrating on ACC at the moment, he's still finding the time every week to put a stream for you guys and do the Rwagnation League, with the exception of this week, of course, but there are good reasons that obviously he wants to focus on the endurance event, and all his efforts, he's made sure that he's commentated on all the races as well, and he's done fantastic. And he's also helped the league coordinators as well make sure that they're performing to their best as well. So thanks to him, and also thanks to him for letting me commentate as well the whole season. That's been a lot of fun. I've dreamt the whole my life to commentate with Raggy for pretty much the whole season, and I did so. So thanks to him as well. Thanks to the league admins, because without you guys, there'll be no league. We got Yonti, of course, that's helped a bit. We got Beaker, just chilling, and of course you, Ravenduck. What will we do without you, especially sorting out the stream situation for tonight with such short notice. So thank you for that, and helping the stewards from time to time as well. We've got our stewards as well. We've got Fairball as well, who was here tonight, and I need to actually check if I don't miss anything out. We've got
Toator and Blank as well.
Yeah, and obviously our guest stewards as well, which we're not going to name, but whoever you are, thank you very much for helping steward the season, of course. And obviously thanks to Beaker as well for hosting the lobbies, apart from obviously tonight. And obviously doing the highlights and the assets for us. And without you, it wouldn't have been as good, obviously, with the highlights. So thank you very much, Beaker, if you're still watching, for the highlights. Thanks also to Yonti, because apart from tonight, because we couldn't get the assets done in time, Yonti did all the hot laps for every week for all the races and made it look beautiful, I have to say. So thank you very much, Yonti. I only get to watch them after the races because obviously I don't watch the streams. I don't watch the streams, so I only watch it at the end. But I still get to watch it eventually. But thank you very much. Also, thanks to our F2 commentators as well, because without you guys, you would have been there, obviously, with you as well. Safso as well for tonight and the last few days. Lapis as well, don't forget. She was commentating, obviously, the F1 qualifying, so I couldn't do the Fridays. So you and Ravenduck, and obviously Lapis and Safso, they covered for me on Friday nights for qualifying. So thank you very much to you guys. And I've got to say, Lapis has improved in terms of commentary since she first started. So I'm sure Raggy will be more than welcome to bring her into next season for F2s, maybe potentially as well, or maybe in the future if I decide to quit, which I won't quit. Don't worry, Raggy, I won't quit. I'm trying to think if I missed anyone. I'm so scared that I missed anyone. And obviously, thank you.
Thanks, of course, to all the competitors and all of you guys watching, because this league and everything in it and everything that we do every week is for you. And that's why we do this, just because we love the game and we love you guys and we love to bring some good content for you to watch. And, of course, the drivers, because you're watching these champions on the track. It's what you're here for.
And we got 15 drivers tonight, which was good to have a good turn up for that as well. And obviously the format was pretty good as well with the qualifying and the full qualifying, which I think got to a point towards the end of the season where not many people turned up, so they had to go to short qualifying, but it was fun while it lasted. 100% commentary. I wouldn't have dreamed of doing it. It was hard at first, but we got used to it, and here we are at the end of it. So we've done all our thank yous as well, and keep an eye on the
we
Twitter.
have to do one more.
Oh.
Thank you, Jess, for tonight and for the entire season, because we can't forget you, of course. You've been massively in helping us, especially tonight. And I know Raggy loves to commentate with you, and we hope to do many more with you.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Thank you. You didn't have to, Ravenduck.
Definitely had to.
But it's been a pleasure to join you for this season. I had Saturday nights free. I had nothing else to do, and I couldn't have dreamed of doing it with another league. So I'm looking forward to doing it again next season. If Raggy would have me, please, that would be lovely. Don't fire me. I've enjoyed commentating. Probably the most relaxed I've ever been, even with 100% races. Lots of battles, lots of action as well, and it's been great. And there's one more thing I forgot to thank. And I know people are going to hate me for not... Thanks to the Jeffs. Thanks to the Jeffs as well. They've done all they can with the strategies as well. I don't know who they all are, but thanks to all of them for helping the drivers keep calm and on the straight and narrow. So thank you to you guys as well, because without you guys, the drivers wouldn't have known what to do in situations. So thanks to the Jeffs, and thanks to you guys for watching. And we're going to wrap up the stream now. I'm not used to doing this. I need to find someone to raid, and... Sir Foch, is he still live? Should we raid him?
Sir Foch, yeah.
Sir Floch,
yeah,
sorry.
Sir Foch? Foch? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think you can raid him, yeah.
Yeah, we'll raid him, because I didn't have a clue, so I was like messaging to him in the interviews like, who shall I raid? Who shall I raid? But yeah, make sure you check out Raggy's next stream, which I believe is Monday with ACC. My stream, I don't know when I'm next streaming, probably on Friday, but we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next season on F1 21 for the Rwagnation League Season 7, believe it or not, for the qualifiers. Keep an eye out for sign-ups. Keep an eye on what we're doing for the format. Thanks to Ravenduck for joining me in the commentary box tonight, and obviously in the F2s as well. I think we did all right.
I think we managed it. We
Yeah, we
came
managed
through
it.
great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we will see you next season, and we'll let you enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.